Welcome. It's Isaiah from the Inner Health Foundation with another quick episode about sodium bicarbonate, otherwise known as baking soda. You probably all have used it many times in your fridge or cleaning or in your shoes or some basic household use, but I wonder if you know how effective it really is for internal health and cellular function within your body. One thing I didn't know until recently is that sodium bicarbonate, or bicarbonate in general, is produced within the body. So the kidneys produce something like a half pound a day of bicarbonate to help buffer and deal with toxicities and acids that are flowing through the system. The kidneys are our main filter. So they have to produce quite a bit of bicarbonate, alkaline bicarbonate, to buffer and balance the acid within the system so that the organs themselves aren't damaged. And it can help regulate the system. Because the issue is, the body needs to maintain a 7.3 to 7.5 blood pH. If we go outside that range, either too low or too high, we're dead. There's no buts about it. So the body will do anything it has to make sure that it keeps the pH consistent within that range. So we could have a lot of acid in our system and have a low urine or saliva pH relative to that based on improper diet or stress or toxicity or substance abuse or different things like that would cause the body to be in a really acidic state and still have the blood pH be balanced. Obviously, we see it around us all the time, right? Think of the average American diet. People are extremely acidic. So if the body is in an acidic state and the pH is too low, it'll do anything it has to maintain that blood pH again. So it'll pull elements from the bones, calcium among other minerals and elements in order to balance those and buffer those toxins and acids. It'll pull eventually from the organs and the tissues. So tissues first, and then moving to more, if it's a severe chronic case, it'd be more internal organs. So what it leads to, that too high of an acidic environment, it deteriorates things. So eventually it leads to low pH disorders, congestive disorders like cancer and heart disease and osteoporosis and diabetes and food allergies is a good one. That's very common, food allergies, because the digestive process is thrown off by having too much acid, not being balanced, not having enough bicarbonate. And then heartburn, mucus, MS, multiple sclerosis, schizophrenia, obviously more common things like colds, flus, viral infections. Those things are all based in too acid of an environment. And if we start to clean that up and buffer it and balance it, the chance of those developing into severe chronic issues, some of which I mentioned, is very unlikely, very unlikely. So that's one thing we want to do. I recommend you use the diagnostics. They're cheap. Get those strips, check it, and see if you can modulate your diet, lifestyle, and behavior and stress level in particular so that you can bring that alkaline level up a little bit higher and try to be in that ideal range of somewhere around 7. Low 7s would be ideal. And the easiest way to figure that out is to go down and get a pH strips you can find at a health food store. There's little tester strips, and you can put it in your urine stream and get a test off of that. There's a guide on the bottle that shows you what level it is. It's based on 3 colors or 2 colors, and you put it up to it and look at it, and you can determine, oh wow, I'm 6.5, I'm a little bit acidic, I'll bring it up a little bit through my diet or some baking soda or something else. This is an amazingly effective, inexpensive, and really helpful substance that is available anywhere and very cheap, that we can take in, that will help to buffer toxicity in our system, help balance us out. Majority of us are too acidic. The things that cause acid in the system, the most common one I'd say is stress. Right? If you're running adrenaline and cortisol through your system, you're in a stress state, a survival state, and the body's in haywire. And it's pulling elements from the bones and tissues and whatever it has to, again, to keep that blood pH stable. And it's a very stressful environment that creates a lot of acid production. So another one would be smoking or drinking. Sugar is huge. Sugar is, not only just regular sugars, but sugar that's hidden in most foods. So the overall intake of sugar is astronomical today, and that is causing the body to, produce huge amounts of acid, and then it has to produce a bicarbonate or find a way to balance out the acid production of that sugar intake. So we want to make sure that we're not utilizing this to make up for a poor diet and lifestyle. We're using this as an adjunct to help create a new baseline, a new more alkaline baseline in our system, so that we can be healthier and more free of toxins and more energetic, and be able to have more oxygen carrying capacity in the blood, and to be able to have less impact, less of a load on our internal organs that are working so hard to try to maintain this system. The other thing that I was going to say is that not only do the kidneys produce a half pound a day of bicarbonate to balance out the acids and the toxicities that are having to be filtered through the kidney, but also the pancreas produces bicarbonates. So there's a pancreas-stomach relationship, and as the stomach digests the food down and puts it through, the pancreas sends digestive enzymes, pancreatic enzymes, to the food, and it needs to come buffered with bicarbonate in order to buffer the acid that's with the food, so that the enzymes from the pancreas can get into the food and help break it down. So again, that's another organ that's producing bicarbonate to help balance out the function of the body. Often, if we have a heartburn situation, a lot of people have acid reflux and other stomach acid conditions, or pylori, H. pylori. Those kind of conditions are inflammatory stomach conditions that really could be balanced hugely by having more bicarbonate. So one way to buffer and balance the body is to have a half teaspoon to a teaspoon in water, say 8 to 12 ounces of water, in the morning on an empty stomach. You wait at least an hour before you eat, because it's gonna knock down the stomach acid, and it's gonna quell the fire, right? The inflammation, the acidity, it's gonna help scavenge the blood and calm down that acid. But we need stomach acid to digest food. So especially if you're somewhat deficient in the production of stomach acid, you want to make sure that you don't eat too quickly after that, because you'll have a hard time digesting your food because there's no acid, right? So you want to take an empty stomach, and it's going to go to work on an empty bloodstream and affect our overall alkaline acid balance and create more alkalinity in the body. Then you eat, an hour later, and it's all good. So you can take it internally like that, and make sure you drink extra water with that, because it is dehydrating. So you want to make sure that you really up your water with the intake of baking soda. But the second part you can do is transdermally, so you can take a bath. But when you take a bath with baking soda, it's going in your bloodstream, it's going in all through your different tissues and organs, and it is balancing the acids and buffering and taking the toxins and mopping them up. Just mopping up toxins. Really, really helpful. Even to the degree that people sometimes have psoriasis, eczema, skin conditions, it can be very helpful for that as well. It can be very helpful because as that skin erupts and there's rashes and inflammation, again, it's gonna quell that fire, it's gonna calm it down, and it's going to rejuvenate the tissue. So I would say, again, 1 to 2 cups baking soda on a regular basis. Ideally add some magnesium to it as well, dead sea salts. And then if you keep that up every day, over time it will definitely, from what I understand and what I've heard, it will definitely handle psoriasis, help balance it, keep it in check, if not resolve it. So eczema, psoriasis, that type of overall skin conditions. I would think also acne, even though it's coming up from the inside out, I still would utilize it. Make a paste with water, put it on your acne, and do it consistently, every day for a little while, and see what the results are. Because again, anything red, inflamed like that, it's too much inflammation. It's going to be producing acid, and we need to put that fire out and alkalize it, balance it. Beautiful, simple stuff. There are many different companies to choose from. You can get Arm & Hammer, it's fine, but I would recommend that I get the one think it's called Bob's Red Mill, and it's from the co-op or health food stores. And the only difference really is production. It's a very simple substance. It's mined, and screened. I think it's, they're relatively similar. I just think that the byproducts of the production of it are different. So I go for the one from the health food stores, maybe $1 more a pound. It doesn't cost much. So, and in fact, to save money, I go through Amazon and get a 25-pound sack from Bob's Red Mill's one company. There are many. And I think it's only got $25 for 25 pounds. It's ridiculously cheap. And that'll last you for, months and months and months of baths, even if you're doing it regularly. And it will, you can use it, to take internally. And the other piece that I didn't mention was for your teeth. Brushing your teeth, it'll whiten your teeth. It will alkalize and strip away the plaque and the toxins in your mouth and help balance out the oral environment. So again, really, really helpful in the mouth. I like to make a mixture of essential oils, coconut oil, and bicarbonate. So baking soda, coconut oil, and essential oils, antimicrobial oils. Make a blend of that, and I put that in my toothbrush every night. Unbelievable, so amazing. Because that fat of the coconut oil is helping it to penetrate more. You got the alkalizing substance and the other antimicrobial. Very, very simple, but really, really effective. I would recommend, if you want more information and you want to go deeper into it and really understand like the potential of cancer protocols and the research that's being done. There's a medical doctor named Dr. Serkis, and there's a book by him that you can get on Amazon or many different sites. I would recommend this. I think it's fascinating on it, and I feel really, I feel like it's really something that I definitely want to promote and help people understand how effective it is. It's so simple, but anything that's simple and effective and natural, it can have a big effect on overall systemic body health and nervous system, and help buffer the toxins of our environment and our food and our water right now. We want to be utilizing that. So I wouldn't overlook it. I would take a look and study and experience the benefit of baking soda. Feel free to write down below a question if you like. Feel free to like and share the video if it's helpful to you or you think it'd be helpful to someone else. Check out the website, theinnerfoundation.com. If you want to jump on my list, there'll be a lot of developments coming soon in terms of more information, videos, references, and website being built. So please add and opt in. Your email won't be shared with anyone else. So again, blessings to you. All the best health and best wishes to you and your family. Peace.